might have to take my jacket off.
And sit down.
Welcome to Chick Chat Comedy Podcast. I am your host, Patty Rosborough, and here in Queens with the fabulous, the beautiful, the talented co-host with the most, Carrie Carabas, for God's sakes.
Hello, Patty.
Darling. And we have two fabulous guests today. We have a return guest, Rich Walker, who was so incredible the first time. We had to bring him back.
We had to get him back.
The second time, and we didn't have anyone else. Okay. Right. And the wonderful.
And Carrie needed a ride.
The funny, and Carrie needed a ride. Eric Haft. Give him a hand.
Yes, thank you.
And then in the wings, we always have the delightful.
It's a 747 wing.
Manny.
Oh,
but it is a wing.
That is not
it's
nice.
a JFK wing, but nonetheless.
Manny Arias, who have always called
my tugboat.
Arias, but it's Arias.
Arias.
Tuggy.
He's Arias.
I call him Tuggy, and he will be working the
monitor pad.
Yeah, so if you want to say something or comment on the show, read it, put it in, and
he'll get to it after we're done.
Of course, yes. At the end of the show, on the drive home, he will go, "Hey, there was this funny thing that I didn't bring up." So, and we're here with Adam Hineker, by the way, in
the rec room in Woodside.
Carrie, I need to know a little bit about your week.
Well, first, let me just say I'm sorry that E.T. isn't here. I forgot it at home, and he's probably so depressed.
I know, it's kind of throwing you, I think.
It is. It's throwing me off that I don't have E.T. here.
It's your good luck charm.
Yeah, I brought him to the Burning Bridges show, too, in the city when we did last
yes, you
week.
did. I did notice
He was there. He goes everywhere with me, and I'm so pissed off that I forgot him.
Does he mean anything? Does it mean anything, or it's just
have this connection?
Well, he's been replaced by Manny.
But anyway, so my week. My tooth broke out of my mouth again.
Oh, it's glued in, though, I'm noticing right now.
It's glued in, but I got to tell you, the minute your tooth comes out, I almost swallowed it. I was like, and then I spit out all my food, and I found it. I just for like 15 minutes because I was eating a white, and it's white, and I'm like, ugh.
She found it in the corn where it mixed in so well.
I don't eat corn. It's GMO.
Wow. Yeah, he was calling your teeth yellow.
My teeth are fake.
No,
His
they're beautiful.
are green.
Yes, yours are beautiful white.
Mine are beautiful crest white strips.
So
now,
I lost my tooth. Not to mention, I have to now get the dentist to find an appointment in the morning before we do this. I was going to do it. I was actually going to do the show toothless because I didn't give a shit. But you can't say F. It sounds like that. F.
Yes.
And what the weirdest part about not having a tooth is that when I'm working at Gyrolicious and I'm talking to the customers, I try to keep my lip down, but that's very hard. So sometimes it goes up, and you could automatically see their eyes go right to my mouth, and I know they're looking, going,
she's the owner of a restaurant.
I hope it's not in my gyro.
Right, she's the owner of a restaurant, and she's really not that haggled. Why?
She's a pretty sexy girl. Where's her fucking tooth?
I don't know about
right?
sexy, but let's go to why not the tooth, right? So you feel compelled to tell them what happened. I'm sorry, my tooth fell out. I don't normally do this.
Yes.
I have a tooth. It's here in my pocket. It just fell out.
Well, when my kid went to school, I had if the parents had no teeth, there was no play date. That was my rule.
Yeah.
Because in Brooklyn, there were a lot of parents. There were different
Missing
parents.
teeth.
Yeah, and especially up in Statsburg, New York. Oh, my God, from the trailer parks. No teeth.
Because you're expecting a banjo in the background.
Because I remember once I let my daughter go on a play date with a toothless person and with a mother who had no tooth. And I thought, well, she's got a tooth. Maybe they just don't have a lot of money. So,
well, look, that's not true because Rich's wife is missing a few teeth. He seems to be very happy.
Well, they're right here.
He needs a job. That's why.
Oh, yeah.
So I let my kid go to the house. I get a phone call from the school like 40 minutes later. I'm not home. I'm doing something else. They go, you got to get to the school quick. Nobody came for your daughter. She's standing out in the middle of the
She was molested by the
playground.
family.
Yeah, she's like left in the middle of this woman who was supposed to, and I had confirmed with that was it. No teeth, no play date.
I get it.
You understand?
I get it.
Before I get to you,
So
boys,
how was your week?
Oh, my week, let me tell you. Okay, yesterday I was in Macy's for 2.5 hours. I swear to God, 2.5 hours. I tried on, like, hundreds of outfits because I need some outfits for here. I always get the same
Yeah, I'm
damn
wearing my
shirt.
Batman again.
I know, I'm
'cause
going to
I'm
have
a
to
big
wear
Batman
that again. Yeah, that's cute.
fan.
And I tried on every single thing, and every single thing I looked like a beach ball with chicken legs.
But you're not fat.
No, my stomach,
You're saying this in front of Manny now. I mean, he could eat you in one bite.
Everything has to have folds. I can't tuck it in. It's just, I want to be cute. Go ahead, Manny.
Dan Romano
Yes.
said to Carrie, Manny would have got your tooth if you swallowed it.
Okay, so let's just read the funny ones, Manny. And
That's
let's,
pretty
like,
funny.
Ignore.
That's kind of funny.
Because it's not far from the truth.
It's
Manny
kind
would
of
have
funny.
dug
Manny
that
would
for
have
that
got,
tooth.
I'll look for it.
That's funny, Dan.
You would have went through my shit to get it?
Yes, he would have.
You know,
That's what he meant, Manny.
that is
Yes.
what he
He
meant.
would
Manny's
travel
laughing. He
to
likes
I
it.
Pennsylvania
like
to
funny,
go
not
through your shit.
disgusting. Not disgusting. All right, Dan Romano.
Um,
There's a shout out.
That's pretty funny.
So we got the Eric Haft. I worked with you that one time, right? One time, or no? You were at the show. I didn't work with you that one time. I hear you're very funny though. Karen tells me you're hilariously
it
funny.
was a firehouse in East Northport. And
Yes.
I
Did
met
you say
you, and you were freaking
hilariously?
hysterical. You were so funny.
She is.
Was
Darling.
that when I
Yeah,
had-
that was you. You were there. But you
Oh,
were
you
on-
yes,
He
you were
was
on the
setting
show
up,
with me.
No, he was setting up the sound system.
I lost that fight. Did you know that?
No, how'd you lose it?
The guy texted me, and he kept texting me every day. This is funny. We had it like 10 years, and I lost it. But he kept texting me
You were
that.
the booker. Explain to people. I don't know what the hell.
Yeah,
you're
I was
talking about.
booking that show. It was like
For 10 years.
10 years.
Firehouse.
And the guy kept texting me. He goes, I need the headshots of the comics. I need the flyer made. But, like, Steve Lazarus is the one that actually booked the act. So I kept calling, Steve, get me the thing. So I wrote to him. I said, this guy is up my
Manny.
ass.
Manny's playing with the potato
You're eating
chips.
potato chips and you're crumbling them,
He's
right?
making noise,
Crunching
eating
the
potato
noise by the microphone.
Manny, put them in the
Idiot.
bowl.
We have a question.
God.
We have a question.
Try to keep your fat quiet.
Wait, Manny, put them in the bowl, and then you can just eat them out of the bowl instead of going.
Dan Romano wants
it
to know
now.
what kind of potato chips we're eating.
He eats over the bowl till that. So anyway, ending of this story
Yes, the
is
ending.
so I text Steve. I go, look, this asshole keeps busting my balls for these flyers. Please get the acts ready. But it was on a joint text, and the guy read.
Oh, and you wrote he's busting my balls.
No, I was
This
the asshole
Oh,
is
the
busting.
asshole. Oh my God.
So we
That's
didn't
the
get
end.
it back next year.
That's
It was
fair when you
something
send out
like
those
that,
posts
and
to
I
other
felt
people.
bad because like I saw the guy like 3 months before that. He never called us to rebook, and I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" And he's like, "How's it going, Rich?" Like, we just never got the call. So Eric's doing it now.
No, you aren't, are you? You
My-
book rooms.
I do. I book a couple of things here and
That's not
there.
good to talk
Theaters,
about that.
country
Theaters.
clubs.
I do the upper echelon, you know. Rich is more of the dirty, you know.
I'm the Deer Park
Bringers. Bringers.
You don't do bringers.
bringers. And, well,
You know
if
what
it's
bringers
under
do?
5 people, I would do a
People
bringer.
have to know what a bringer is.
Okay,
when
explain a
you're
bringer.
when you're new,
Yes.
like per se Manny,
To get on stage.
Yeah.
to get on stage you have to bring
5
6
people or
Well, it
6
used to be
people.
20.
Carrie, not everybody speaks French, just per se.
Per se, per se, per se.
But I'm against bringer shows.
I am
think
too.
it's bad. If I had a comedy club, I would not do bringer show. But I'm saying that. That's how they all make money.
Well-
but I think it's mean, and I think it's like
I
I
was-
didn't have to bring people when I started. There was an audience, and you're funny or not, and you go on or you're not.
I always felt it was the responsibility of the club as the
Me
you
too.
own the club.
That's right.
Then you fill
Bring
your
in
seats.
your audience.
Bring in your audience, and it shouldn't be the comedian's responsibility. The problem is when you're a big name comic like Patty Rossborough,
Of course.
they're hoping you have a following like a band.
They do.
They consider us like bands. You know,
Yes.
like, well, how many, you have a following? You know, and these two. You know. So, but you know what I'm saying. But
Aren't
you
these
have a
better
following.
the stories? They're funnier, right?
Where's Kevin?
All right, let me just tell you what got me started here.
Yeah, look,
Please.
she's very angry about
So
this.
we're in the car, and you know when Kevin Brennan went off on Manny, I thought it was hysterical because that's what
Right.
Kevin Brennan does. He whines and fucking rips you to shreds, but
That's
you
right.
got to take it like a man.
That's right.
Well, I didn't know Manny and Rich Walker have pussies because all of a sudden I hear they were bullying Manny. I'm like, bullying? What are we in third fucking grade? You're bullying my son.
All right, first of all, the word bullying came from you, not from me,
No,
and
no,
it came
did
from
not.
Manny.
It came from
I
Manny.
wasn't
I didn't
saying
say bullying.
I wasn't
I
saying
don't
bullying.
use that word.
I was just
that
saying
word is like vagina to me. I
All
don't
he
use
was
either one of
doing-
those words.
But
What's wrong with vagina?
listen, let me explain what my argument here is. You made fun of Manny just now eating the potato chips and he's crumpling. It was funny. That was funny. But what was happening to him, he was just being bashed constantly, and there wasn't any jokes. It wasn't jokes. It was just Manny's fat, Manny's a loser,
Nobody
Manny's
said he
this,
was
whatever.
fat.
Whatever he was saying. He's
No.
he's,
Well,
Nobody
nobody's
said he
eating
was
potatoes
fat.
right now.
well, maybe that's what I heard.
Nobody said he was fat.
No,
well,
he never
but,
said that.
No, he didn't say that. No, but you said that. But what was being said was
Harry always says that.
how he's a disabled veteran and this and that. And
I
the other thing.
try to address the elephant in the room.
But I
always.
just wasn't hearing. I didn't hear what was so funny. I heard a rant of
How
pounding.
often do you listen to Kevin? Here's the thing about how often do you listen to Mystery Loves Company?
I don't.
You don't? Okay.
Because I don't know where to even find it.
And Burning Bridges. Okay.
He's
Here's the thing.
hilarious.
Here's the thing about Kevin Brennan. He's going to make fun of you. He's going to say horrible things about you. He's going to just, say the most horrible
But is it funny?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it's hysterical. And the way
And if
he
he
does
went
it.
off on you
He would.
about
He always
you,
does.
He always does. He makes fun of me
What
because I
does he
married.
say about you?
He makes fun of me because I attract homos. He says,
Does
my
he
first
does he
husband's.
make fun of your lipstick being off your lips?
Is it off my lips?
See, that's not funny, and that's my example. Is what I'm saying.
Wait
No,
a
it is
second. Was
not.
Don Rickles funny?
Yes, he had jokes. It was all written material and
It
jokes.
wasn't always
no, it
jokes.
wasn't.
It wasn't jokes at all.
Yeah, he
he's
wasn't
like,
improvising.
oh, it's the black guy in the front. Oh, the black guy. There was no joke
wasn't a
there. It was the
joke.
black guy in the front.
Right.
Right.
But he had jokes for the black guy.
Richie,
He
we're
would
not
say,
in vaudeville.
you missed the point. Ranting
I
just
really
doesn't
did.
necessarily
I missed the
mean it's
fucking
funny.
point.
But she
Okay,
was
listen.
cackling like a hyena at everything he said. The way he says, "Yeah, man, manic depressive." Blah, blah,
I
blah.
was there. You know what it was?
It was
I
just
was
not-
in the
It
car.
wasn't funny.
No, you're wrong. It was hysterical.
You
'Cause
cackled at everything
I did
he said.
3 fucking out 5
You were
hours
enamored
with
by the
Manny.
fame,
Yes.
and
No,
you were
no,
cackling
I'm
like a
not
hyena.
enamored by the fame. I love Kevin Brennan because he's brilliant. But
Right.
So we're in the car.
Yes.
And we're driving, me, him, and him. And let me give you an example.
Go ahead.
We stopped for gas.
Yes.
So Manny's now my car. I'm paying for the gas, right?
Yeah, of course.
And Manny goes, I'm going to give him a tip. I go, no, you're not going to give him a fucking tip.
Oh, I get
That's
tips.
my car. You're not giving him
I
a tip.
always tip.
I'm not tipping.
See, Carrie?
I always tip.
What do you give? $1?
$1, $2.
Right.
If he does my
It depends
windshield,
on the
I
weather.
give him $3 if he does my
Oh,
windshield.
I'll
does
blow him
windshields?
if he does my windshield. Come on.
I've
Stop
never
it.
ever. There's
So-
never any water in the thing at my gas stations. Where do you find a gas station with water
The
in the
guy
thing?
does it. I never do it myself.
But
the guy
I
does.
feel you. I tip too, Patty. And
So
I'm
wait, so here's what
a
happened.
disabled comic.
Right. You can see he's not healthy.
So now he says to the guy, so it comes out to $28.
He's disabled.
28. You see, you give him $3.
So, well, hold on, 28.
Yeah.
Manny's holding $40.
Okay.
Okay. So now I go, don't you dare give him any of my money. I will jump, because I was sitting in the back. I knew I was going to go to sleep because I couldn't listen to them all night. So now he goes to the guy, here's 2 for you.
What?
From,
Two for you.
this
There's
is for
more
you.
coming.
No, he gives the guy $2. He goes, this is
That's
for
good.
you. This is for you.
Yeah.
The guy's like, where's my money? Because it's
Oh, he-
29. Kevin Brennan ripped on him for half hour on here. This is for you, and I couldn't breathe the whole time in the back of the seat because all the other things following this is for you
Yes.
were. I wish I had a tape recorder. It
Yes.
was like brilliance at its best.
And one of the things he said, he goes, Manny, why couldn't you just give the guy the $40
And
say,
say,
give me
"Give me back
10? And I couldn't think.
Because why?
You can't do math.
It's all right. You don't have
But
to
it
do
was-
math. You
but
don't have to
it
be
was
good at math, Manny.
hilarious the whole way home.
Carrie was snooting and crying.
I couldn't
with
breathe.
Tears in her
But,
eyes.
tell
And
me
I was
what-
too. I almost had to pull the car over.
It was so funny what he was
Yeah.
doing to you.
You know what it is?
And I didn't
This
feel.
is for you.
and he wasn't bullying me that day.
It's like a hazing. You know what I mean?
I can't.
It's like a hazing. My sister's kid, she has like a bunch of friends in high school and college, and whatever the thing is about the person that they don't like about themselves, that's the thing you call them. The kid with the big ears, hey Dumbo, and like hey fat ass for the fat kid, and hey funny eye. Like that's what you do, and they're all in the group, and that's what you do, and nobody gets upset.
Well, we're
Now-
comics, right? We were supposed to be able to say. Now,
should be able
I'm
to
going
take
to have a disclaimer.
Go ahead.
When we do Kevin's show, whoever comes in, I'm going to say, leave your pussy at the door
Right.
and bring in your balls if you haven't.
Listen.
Listen,
Riches,
I get
you
hurt
wanna make
feelings.
fun
You
of
know,
me?
I do.
Great.
I do.
Eric imitates Manny's at shows, and it's hysterical. and they
Let's
love
hear
it.
your Manny.
Come
Come on.
Let's hear your Manny.
I did. We once did a show. Carrie was on the show, and right before the show, he was brand new. He just started. And
Does the
he's-
audience even know who he is? Have they
Manny,
seen him?
right? Yeah, of course they know Tugboat, right? Everybody. knows.
Everybody
So
knows.
anyway, Manny
Jay
shows
Leno
up
does.
to this gig. We're doing a fundraiser for
Letterman.
prom. These rich fucking kids, and he walks in with this beautiful, fresh white shirt, looking dapper. Like
I was there.
I'm gonna get a spot. You know, I'm gonna get a spot. Maybe if I look good. And Carrie, like, get him on the show. Put him on the show.
And this guy, who was his teacher,
Yes.
Yeah.
wouldn't let him on. And I'm
Rich!
like,
Me? No, I wouldn't let him. Of course I would let him on.
So I said, I walk up to Manny, and she goes, Haft, give him 5 minutes. So I was like, all right. Man, I walk up to Manny, I say, Manny, you want to do 5 minutes? This is great. Dude!
oh my God.
Dude!
You look just like him.
You don't know what this means to me.
Wait, what?
You don't know what this means to me. I'm going to go up there. I'm going to make you proud. We're going on Letterman. We're going on Letterman, and he went off and did.
And he did the worst 5 minutes. But you know what? It doesn't matter.
That's
He
okay.
was. He did a great job that night.
He did. They loved
Remember
him.
you worked the audience.
They
You
loved
said,
him.
"So where are you from?" And she didn't have an answer, and you were
Right.
like,
It was so funny.
But that
It
was
was
That was
fun.
my first.
Manny,
guest spot.
swallow your food first.
"You know, it's a great thing about that night, right? He shows up, and he's got this white shirt, like we're saying. I'm not
He
kidding
comes
you.
prepared. He's ready to
The
go
girl from the PTA goes, "Would you like something to drink?" I'm not kidding you. He's never even been on a show before. He's like, "I'm gonna have
The
2
red wine.
vodka tonics, and then he says if you could put a twist of lime in that, and then he's like, and if there's any food, if you could bring, I'll have a little plate of something." He was in a green room of like the
Madison
Paramount.
Square Garden.
Yeah.
on. Yeah. He-
And just the green M&Ms.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah, really.
But I learned
and you
from him
know that
night.
when he eats, whatever he's eating is going to be on the shirt at some
He
point.
has to take the shirt off.
All right, I'm bullying now. I
You
got
Stop
are.
bullying.
I got to back off. I
not
got to back
But
off.
you have to be able to take it. Okay. I want to talk about something because I saw Manny's post. Was it today? You were saying, talking about what's her name with the bloody head. Kathy Griffin. You posted
Yes.
about it, Manny. You said it's terrible, and you think it's terrible. I want to know what all you guys think. You're comics. She's a comic. Is it
We had that
funny?
discussion,
Is it
too.
not funny? What is it?
We will say now that the dust is settling.
Yes.
You got to admit that I say.
Well, you're a
she
liberal.
is
What do you
now
think?
Worldwide famous.
But in a bad way.
In a bad
Not
way.
in a
First
bad
of
way,
all, let me tell you
because-
something. I know what
wait,
funny is, and
to
that's not funny.
50% of the people in a bad way.
No, you're
Other
wrong.
people
Even
found
the
humor in it.
liberals didn't like.
Yeah.
Manny, you
want to
get your phone? I could hear it buzzing.
my
Yeah, look at your
God.
phone, Manny.
Jesus.
Here's the thing
It's
for me.
not funny.
I'm super liberal. I'm
Right.
super
Stupid.
liberal. I don't like Trump. But when I saw that, I thought, this is like the most pathetic, sad
Yes.
thing that this girl is
Right.
trying to get famous so hard.
First of all,
that
you're
she
you're
is
saying it's
famous.
okay to behead somebody. Like,
it-
what is that? I don't find
know
that
if she's
funny.
saying it's okay.
Yeah, it is. It's saying, I want to behead my
I want
president.
the head of the president.
Right. That, to me...
I don't
And
know
you're
what-
telling other countries
because-
that, too.
Now, think about all the people that lost their kids to beheading.
It's terrible.
And,
It's not-
and,
it's
and all
terrible.
the people that are suffering from this
Right.
sick fucking twisted way of killing somebody, and she got up there and did that. That's condoning it. That's saying, okay, yeah, I want to take my fucking. She's an asshole.
Listen.
And
But we're
has
talking
been-
about her right now.
Exactly, and that's what she wanted. Here's the
That's
thing,
what
though.
she wanted.
She's going to lose. Not
Big.
that she had a lot of. You know what
She's
what
gonna
she
lose.
who she worked for? Squatty Potty. Okay, so she lost the Squatty Potty
And CNN.
endorsements.
But that was she probably
Did CNN?
Yes, they
got.
fired her.
When did they do that? I didn't
Yesterday.
even yesterday.
when she put the head on the
no,
fucking...
they waited a day. They didn't do it right away.
Right. But
They had to get the clearance from the boss.
But-
The
And then
boss
you
had
know
to
what
tell
really
them it
got
was
me
wrong.
mad? Is
Yeah.
that she went up, she looked so holding his head up.
Right.
At first, I had to look twice. I thought it was her vagina. I said the word no. No, so she's up there holding the head up.
Right.
So that she looked gorgeous, right? As gorgeous as she
No,
could
she-
look.
No, she didn't look gorgeous.
I
she
said
had
on
her makeup
Facebook,
on.
she is actually uglier than the head. Her head is
That's-
uglier.
okay.
Wait,
than Donald
but
Trump's
hold
head.
on.
That's so hurtful.
She is so.
Wait, she's so ugly. But she went to apologize with no makeup on.
Right. I think she was trying to show that,
She
look,
probably
this
has-
is
It
the
drained
real
her.
me.
It drained her.
Yeah, she didn't want to look like she was being glamorous to make an
Right.
apology. But here's what I feel. I feel like the only reason she made the apology is there was such a backlash. She never apologizes for anything.
Let
ever,
me tell you
ever,
something, though.
ever.
If you're gonna do something, you know that you're doing it wrong,
Repercussions.
right?
Yeah.
You know the consequences of it. If you know if you're gonna kill your husband while he's sleeping, you're gonna go to jail.
Carrie, is there something you want to tell us?
So don't sit there and tell me she really gave a shit to say I'm sorry. That was all a fucking lie.
It's
and I
bullshit.
think she should be brought up on charges because she's actually putting ideas in people's heads.
Oh yeah, she put ideas.
I
in
don't think
people's
that you
heads.
can say that. Because
Nobody's
otherwise,
looking
you'd
at Kathy
otherwise
Griffin
you,
going, you know what?
Otherwise,
if
you'd have
she's
to-
doing it, I'm doing it.
You'd have to shut down every what are those Xbox, all those games
Right,
with all the
okay.
killer things. Those are all putting ideas in people's heads too. But here's the thing: I think the only reason that she said I'm sorry is because she first lost Squatty Potty, and then that was before CNN fired her. So she was scrambling, and even her good buddy, supposedly Anderson Cooper, like threw her under the bus.
Yeah,
he
he
was
did.
like, "This is not funny.
Well-
this is terrible."
I don't know if
you know?
he
Anderson
finds
Cooper,
anything funny.
he was like the next door neighbor who just found out his neighbor just killed somebody. Yeah, I never liked her anyway.
Let me-
I never trusted her.
Right,
Exactly.
right.
All of a
Jump on
sudden-
the bandwagon.
All of a sudden, there
Yes.
was something off about her.
Yeah.
Let me put this into perspective. What
Yes.
a hypocrite Carrie is. If Kevin Brennan had Manny's head like this, it would be the funniest fucking thing she ever heard.
Would be.
Oh my God, he's a brilliant! He's brilliant. Look at him with the.
In spite
Manny's
of what
head.
this idiot might think,
Yes.
I love Manny.
Yes.
I know you
we
do.
all love Manny.
I love you too,
My
Karen.
tugboat. Who cooks
Who
for
asked
you
you?
every
I
fucking night?
love you, and I'm sorry
Let
that
me
I
tell you
hurt
something.
your feelings today.
Nobody
You did
in
not
the
hurt my
world
feelings.
defends Manny more than I do. Do you know what it was like to go to people
But
at White
yet,
Post
he
Farms?
will not
go-
support you
No.
when you perform at the
Right.
Westbury Music Fair.
You
Who
were
was
there.
there?
You were there.
Who went to the clothing store, to the big and tall fat guy store with you?
It's
and
not
had
called.
me, and had me sweating.
And I made you look amazing on that stage.
And I
came
like
to the
a
show.
star.
You know what, Carrie?
It's
You're
not
right.
called
He
the
is
big and tall
retarded.
and fat guy store.
Listen,
It's the big and tall
let me
shop.
just say one thing.
So a fat guy
I
store.
come
Not
to
fat
Manny's
guy.
defense more than anybody. Like I was just saying,
What do you mean? How many times have you come
I
to
got him White Post Farms that he blew last year.
Did he blew?
I got him
Because
6
nobody
weeks
else
of
would take
work
the gig.
every Saturday and Sunday. I got him work, and he goes up. He has his own show. It's called the Tugboat
I
Manny
took
Show.
over
Is
for
this
Chris-
true?
I took
Yeah.
over for Chris Roach. Chris Roach
300
got
people,
Kevin Can Wait.
300 people a show, 6 shows a day. I get him, and he froze.
What do you mean? That's not true.
I didn't freeze.
No, you didn't freeze. You were
I
really
didn't-
Oh,
funny.
look, he gets you the gig, but then he slams you.
I
That
know.
was
I'm
a
only
bully.
kidding.
Yeah.
Bully.
I think
Bully.
That's a bully.
You know what,
Put him in the bully box.
guys?
Well, I figured that was the theme of Chick Chat.
No, it's.
that the
I'm not a
theme?
bully, but
No, you were
It-
the only one defending him.
Patty
I was-
came to my defense.
Why were you defending him?
Because you need a yin and a yang.
you need.
Don't-
You need.
I didn't
that's
want
exactly.
you to answer it. I wanted her to answer.
No, because the truth is, that's not my that's not my persona. You know what I mean? Like,
Nor mine.
I would be. I'm not good at it. Like, if you know, like
You're
when-
not mean.
You know, when people go up and they go, "Hey, nice shirt," you know, how big is your head? Hey, you fat ass. Like, I used to watch. You know, when I would work with Joe Maffa. Oh my God! When we would do Brooklyn, he would just rip people a new asshole, and I would watch. I would laugh my ass off,
Yes.
and then I think, what am I
But they
going
were
to do?
jokes.
Because I can't say, "Hey, you fat ass."
You know
it's
what?
not my thing.
Patty cannot do it
It's not my-
until the camera turns off. Then,
Excuse-
boy,
Guys,
Jesus, what she's got to say about you.
guys, I'm sorry. Chris
I
Roach.
hate that bitch.
Chris Roach from Kevin Can Wait chimed in.
Yes, what's he saying?
And he said, "Don't make fun of large people."
Yeah, that's true.
You
well,
know what?
Chris
You
is.
learn
He's
a lot.
6'7".
Chris
I
is
think.
large.
How
you do
large
learn a
is
lot
he?
on this show.
Bob De Bono
Nobody can say the name. De Boner.
De Buono.
De Burner.
says he's aroused.
At Rich Walker?
Yeah.
Wait,
That's
can you
terrible.
clarify that?
Anyway.
Yes, ask him to clarify.
So,
If he's
so
still on.
okay, so basically,
Go
let's
ahead.
go back to this
Yes,
beheading
okay.
thing.
Yes, please.
I think this destroyed her career.
I will tell you this. Here's the thing about it. I read her book. Her book was funny. I used to think she was funny when she had the D-list, but when she started doing those New Year's Eve thing, I find her so annoying
Yeah.
that I can't find what's funny about her. And even if, at New Year's, I remember posting some on Facebook. I don't even remember what I wrote, but it was something that's like, I can't take another minute of this. I can't. It's unwatchable. And she's pulling her pants down, and she's pretending to blow Anderson Cooper, and
Right.
she's putting blue chalk in his hair. It's like she's
Force.
desperate.
It's force.
She's desperate for attention, and I'm so uncomfortable watching her. It's not funny to me at all, and she's done some weird shit to her face, and she's wearing weird wigs, and the whole thing I'm like uncomfortable watching.
Right.
her.
Now, did you buy the book or did you find it in the Salvation Army? 'Cause
I
if you
did-
bought the book, I'm going to lose all
I
respect
did
for
buy
you.
the book, but this
There's
was
so
a
many
couple of
other
years ago.
books of choice
You
of
know what?
reading.
I like reading comics books.
All right.
I
Well,
just
then,
read Susie Sarah's
Did
book,
you
which is
read
very funny.
Carrie Louise's book and Tom Connor's
Not
book?
yet, but I
Okay.
will. I will. Actually, I read part of it. I read her vagina chapter because I
Oh,
wanted
you
to read.
did? You were
Yes,
interested.
I wanted to see, and I wanted to know about her tummy tuck because that's what I want to get. I want to get a
She's
tummy
so
tuck.
slamming hot. All right,
She'll
whatever.
be on Matt Lauer within a week. That's my prediction.
Oh, her to tell her
Yeah.
side
Oh,
of the
She's
story.
going to tell the story.
Do you
Who?
think she
Carrie
has?
Louise?
No.
Oh, I thought Carrie Louise. Oh, what's her name? Kathy Griffin.
Kathy Griffin, whatever the
First
fuck.
of all,
Griffith?
Kathy Griffin just booked
Gifford.
herself solid for at least the next year. Watch.
I don't
I don't think
agree.
anybody's going to go see her.
Listen, she's very big with the gays. The gay men love her. So
Let me ask you
maybe
a question. Why can't she just say, it was a mistake, which she did already. I made a mistake. I made a bad choice.
I didn't believe her. It wasn't.
I didn't
it wasn't
believe her.
You don't have
believable.
to believe
It
her.
wasn't sincere.
Yeah, right. But yet Trump is insincere.
Well, you know what? Somebody wrote. Okay, so I was
This
looking.
isn't a fight about who Trump.
I wanted
but
to.
you-
This is not a fight about Trump.
But here's the thing.
Rich could get caught banging another woman. His wife walks in. He's going to go, fucking Trump. It's fucking Trump. It was Trump,
Yeah,
honey.
it was fucking Trump. This whole thing is Trump's
No,
fault.
but here's the
The
thing
Russians.
here's the thing that somebody wrote. Like everyone's going, this is horrible, this is terrible. I wrote it's terrible, terrible. I don't like it, blah blah. Then this guy goes, all you people, he goes, I can't believe how offended everybody is getting when nobody is offended that this guy where it's just like a rubber head with strawberry syrup on it, and here's this guy who's trying to take away health care from 25 million people.
Right.
A guy, he goes,
And
who's
that's not
offended by that?
offensive.
Who's
That's not
offended by
offensive.
the fact that we have people who have ties to Russia? He was saying like a guy who grabs pussies. Nobody's offended by. He listed like 25 things that
That's
Trump
right.
has done and said, but everyone's offended by a rubber head with blood on it. So
Right.
I mean, even though
You know why?
I disagree,
They
I
want to be
think.
offended by it.
But I think that he had a point.
amazing?
He had a point.
Isn't it amazing?
But
She's
Incredible.
1,000% right.
It's amazing.
1,000%.
that's not what I wrote. I'm telling you what the guy
but
wrote.
Yet Ted Nugent said that we should behead Obama.
Fake news.
And never ever said
Fake
that's not fake
Fake
news.
news. Show it
See
to
how
me.
the liberals only pick what they want to fucking read and
Right.
say?
If you want to get offended, go to one of Richie's shows. That's fucking offensive.
No, let me
Yeah,
tell you something.
because I booked Eric Haft on it.
Here's the thing with Obama. When he went to
Tattoo
Russia,
removal.
they put up a big poster picture of him eating a banana like he was a monkey. I was totally offended by that too. Like I don't like that kind of stuff.
Who
You
was
don't
eating a
like
banana?
Trump eating bananas?
No, They put
Obama.
Obama. One of Putin's friends,
I find
some
that
woman,
disgusting.
put him a big poster up or a thing on her Facebook, whatever it was, of him eating bananas. Like, I don't like shit
I
like
like
is
that.
that?
bananas.
What kind of reference is
You
that?
love bananas.
You're right, Pat.
But I
People
mean,
do.
beheadings, bananas. I don't like all that stuff. It's
People
like,
are trying to
it's
say
not
it's
getting-
comedy. Now that's the argument you have to talk about.
Is it comedy? I didn't think it was funny.
It's not
Here's
comedy.
the thing: it can be shocking as long as it's funny. Like, if it was shocking, if I looked at it and laughed, or most people laughed, you would say, okay, then it's funny, and I would still think it was horrible. But at least it was a little funny, but it wasn't funny
It's
at
a
all.
swing and a miss.
It's
it
a
was
swing,
a swing and a miss.
but a very bad swing.
It was a bad swing. Look, when Roseanne Barr grabbed herself doing the
I know.
Star-Spangled
I thought that
Banner,
was the end of her career. I really
Right.
did.
and it wasn't.
This country,
Which
they're
that
so
to
fickle.
me was more offensive than her holding his head up. Which
Well,
nobody complained about Vic DiBitetto for years with the two heads.
Okay,
Now all of a
so
sudden-
when she grabbed a crotch, it was like saying "fuck you," right?
It
But
wasn't,
when
though. They
Obama
told her to
doesn't
do it.
salute or put his
Yeah.
hand over,
Propaganda.
no,
not
he
true.
always-
propaganda.
always
Bullshit. There's
salute.
pictures of him.
Yeah.
There's pictures of him
He had
not
the time
fucking
he
putting
had the
his
cup of
hand
coffee.
over his
No,
heart.
He had the
That's
cup
not
of
true.
That's
Shut
the
your
wrong
dicks
story.
up. Shut your dicks up. You don't know what you're talking
Right.
about.
Let's-
Am I right?
It's not
Am
true.
I right?
This is half Patty's show too.
Look,
No,
I'm gonna
Start
get
talking to me.
coffee, and he
These
was
two are over
saluted,
here.
and he went like that
Yeah.
because he had the coffee
Help
in his
me
hand
out
and he
here.
saluted.
I'm on Carrie's side.
I don't want. Listen,
This is not.
The
Everybody.
president
on
doesn't
Carrie,
have to salute, though.
He goes like this.
It was started
He doesn't
by.
have to.
It doesn't have to. And I'm not saying, but out of respect, Ronald Reagan started doing that. So, and everybody like.
Thank you,
followed.
Manny.
Yeah.
He's right.
Because Manny is a veteran, so
And
he
plus-
knows
I'm
the
a
rules.
formal naval reservist.
This is a
Formal
comedy
legal
show.
reason.
We're talking about politics. If we're going to talk politics, how about this JFK thing?
What's the
See,
change?
none of us find that funny.
That was a swing and a
I
miss.
thought it was funny.
I swung and I missed.
Yeah,
That was a
that's-
Kathy
that's-
That should
Griffin.
end your career right there.
I know. I never
Anybody
had
that
one.
loved JFK, I would not book Eric.
Peaches
Haft.
Rodriguez says to deport Kathy Griffin.
To where? She's from here.
Peaches is Mexican, of course. So yes, I like that idea.
Chris
Okay,
Roach.
Will.
Chris Roach said, "Leave Manny alone. He had a bad reaction to a beast."
That's funny.
And I have an EpiPen, but I'm not wasting it on him. All right. So, okay.
All right, so
All right. So let's.
So
move
we're going
on.
to agree to
Let's-
disagree.
yes.
Half the table against the other half of the table.
Yeah, Kathy, this is a
Woods?
tough one.
But no, I actually agree with the Kathy thing. I think it's bad. That's my.
The news is going to. They.
But I don't think she should be arrested.
it's
like,
bad,
I don't think
and it's not going to hurt her career. That's my
that's the
opinion.
thing that I don't think it will. I think
I
it will.
think it blows over in another week.
I
Nobody
think
will
that
remember.
she is like such a, right after Joan Rivers died, this is what I heard. She was on the phone like there were people the next day trying to get the
Yeah,
the
she's
job.
trying to. She wants to be
Joan
Joan Rivers, but she's
Joan
not.
Rivers,
the whole face.
But like,
doing
don't you
stuff.
let somebody dive and you go to their funeral and then? But she's already trying to
Yes.
get that spot on. What was that show? Style Stalkers or whatever.
But that's every comedian.
Right.
Every comedian jumps right on.
you
the
know
gig.
what? I would wait. I would wait.
No, some guys they're
No,
not even
some
dead
is-
yet, and they're trying to get the spot.
Yeah, that's
I'm
true.
going to get that fire
It's
department
just
now
the
that he's
fever.
dead.
No, it's true. What do you think about Tiger Woods' thing? You think he's a drug addict, or you think he was just doing his
Oh, I love that.
that he got arrested?
Yes.
I think he swung and missed. No.
It's a callback.
Well, you know what it is.
Good.
Here's what I don't understand.
Go ahead.
Now, when I drink and drive, it's because I can't afford a limousine.
Oh, I
That's-
thought it was because of me.
right.
Why is this guy driving around by himself? That's
I mean,
so true.
Honestly,
I agree. I that's the exact thing I thought, Carrie.
He wasn't
Why?
driving, actually. He was sleeping when they found him.
Exactly.
Oh, he was in his car sleeping.
He was
Yeah.
he
Mitchell-
pulled over on the side of the road, but the engine was on,
Right.
and
Ah.
he was
he was
asleep.
That's all I know.
And-
That is illegal. That is illegal.
He wasn't drunk. He was. The guy has had back surgeries, which anything can happen to us. We can get into an accident and have back surgery, and then we get hooked on pain pills. He was on multiple pain pills.
Okay, but let me tell you this: as someone with a bad
Is that
back,
is that what you're going with, Manny?
and I
No.
listen, I take Flexerols. My back is killing me. It's killing me right now. I take a leave during the day. I take Flexerol at night. But if I know I have to drive somewhere in less than 12 hours from when I take my muscle relaxer, I don't take my muscle relaxer that night.
That's the difference.
Or I will take it 6 hours earlier so then I can drive. So I'm not buying the fact that, it was a weird mix. You know what? I don't take drugs that I don't know what they're doing and then get in the car.
He knew what he was
I
doing.
don't have a back injury, and I take some of Patty's Flexerals because when I know I have to go home to my husband, I want to not remember any of it.
husband said he wants to die in his sleep. All I know is
you know what?
5 minutes.
I think he's got enough money to get himself out. Pay the fucking ticket and move
He's
on.
done.
Who
He's
cares?
done.
No, he's not.
5
No, he's
minutes.
not.
No, he's
Five.
not.
No,
Big
done
Did
in
you
deal.
see
terms
his
of
house
golf.
in Jupiter?
It's
like
done in front.
the
In terms
biggest
of
In
house
terms
in
of golf,
I
I'm just
feel
saying
like
his
his
career
back is.
done.
I feel.
He's got so much money, he doesn't care.
You know what I
Of
think it
course.
is? I think he does care. I saw him on it being interviewed, and he was like, and they were like, well, it's kind. The guy was saying, well, you've kind of like tapered off, and he goes. And he goes, you'll probably never get to the point of Arnold Palmer and blah, blah, blah. And he goes, hey, don't count me out. He goes, don't count me
Right,
out.
okay, so it's
He
his
goes,
ego.
He
It's more of
thinks he's going to get up to
Okay,
where
he
and
might.
all these great. But the thing is, his back is shot, and he's had 4 operations because his swing is so strong that it's popping his back out all the time. So anyway, but I think it's really hard when you become so famous in the beginning. And then you just fall. So it's got to be
I was
horrible.
Same thing as
Still-
Mike Tyson.
Yes.
And they both had mentors. Tiger had his father, and
Right.
Mike Tyson had Cus
And then the
D'Amato.
mentors. You're right. And then when the mentors die, they all went to shit. Those two
Terry,
guys.
so you can't go anywhere from me.
What does that mean?
You're
because
dead
you're
to
his
me,
mentor.
Manny.
You can't
You're
die.
You're
dead
dead
to
to
me.
me, man. You're dead to me.
All I know is 5 minutes after Tiger Woods' headline came on, I got a text from Mitchell Walters saying, Tiger Woods' doctor said, take 3 of these and call me from the police station in the morning.
That was funny.
What
The
was
one
it?
line.
It's not Kevin Brennan funny.
Well,
but it's funny.
then it
That's
would have
a
been
whole
making
new
fun of
funny.
Manny.
What the fuck?
Where'd you
What the
guys
fuck?
start out doing comedy? Both Long Island? Did you start in Long
Me?
Island?
Yes, it was.
Where was your first
Tell
time
us
out?
what made you decide to become a comedian. You just didn't want to work anymore?
You
I
did
was
have
in
a job. Now
insurance.
you were the one. You're the one.
Insurance.
You had a great job.
Great job.
And then, but you were doing comedy on the side, or no?
I was doing comedy on the side. Some
You
people-
were an insurance adjuster. Say that
Yes, I
first.
was.
That
an
was a
insurance
great
adjuster
job.
for 18 years. I was hitting 100,000
The article.
100,000.
a
Wow.
year that year, and I walked from that job
Because
well, the company went under.
Oh.
But
that's a good reason.
but I
to walk.
figure I'll take care of my daughter who was being born at that time,
And
I-
your wife was okay with that? That
yeah,
you
well,
were the
she's a
stay-at-home?
conductor on the railroad, so
She works with my
She
husband.
says I'm not giving up
Pension.
a railroad
Oh,
job.
yeah,
I was
yeah,
giving
yeah.
up a railroad job.
401k.
And I used to go home every night with my hands shaking on the wheel.
Overtime.
So, but if I didn't slip and fall and break my ankle, which I did, I would never be doing stand-up comedy because I was home from work when I was an adjuster, and I laid on the couch for 3 months, not far from now, what I do now. But I was
When
laying
in between your Costco and Target.
Yeah, well, there wasn't even Costco back then. So anyway, but I was on the couch and with the busted ankle at home from work, and I started writing my material.
The baby's
and
crying.
My wife's mother cut an ad out in the paper. It said, "Bring your best 5 minutes down to the Long Island Cafe," which was a bar. And
she, wait a minute, your mother's mother told you
no,
to
no,
do this?
my wife's mother, who was
I mean,
my
your
mother-in-law.
wife's
girlfriend
mother.
at the time.
She's like, we got to get him doing something.
But she
So
said,
he
him off
hopped,
the couch.
he
he
hopped
always
over.
wanted to do this. So I went, once my ankle healed, I went down to the open mic night, and I was instant success.
No, were you funny the first time?
Yes.
You were
I
funny
did
the
so he
first
15
says.
minutes the first
15
time.
minutes? You remembered 15
Yes.
But
minutes?
we don't have any proof of
There's
this.
no
23
tape
years
of
later.
this. Is
I
there?
have proof
If
of
a
it.
tree falls in the
JJ
wood
Boyd.
when no one's there, does it make a sound? Okay.
I never told you. Rich Walker telling you the story about how he got into comedy. I never told you how I got into comedy. Oh my God! I never told you. Oh, you didn't know I was a comedian? I'm a comedian. Oh my God! I got to tell you. Well, anyway, I was no
Wait
in
a
the
minute,
car.
Eric. How did you start?
I didn't. I never started. I'm just starting. This is
Yes,
it.
Eric,
This is
tell
my-
them how
This
you
your first
started.
time out?
Oh, here he's gonna get props now. You know.
Why?
Go, Eric.
Was it
I was
bad?
the-
Because
Yeah.
everybody's, I'm responsible for everybody. Bringing
No,
But
everything
no, but
into this
Eric was in
business.
show
No.
business, right? Because you were
Yes.
a drummer in a
Professional
band.
musician my
Oh,
whole
so
life.
that's-
His whole life with his
Okay.
brother, they had a band. They were successful.
Yeah,
cover
success.
band.
Money?
Yeah, of course.
You made money?
Of course, I still make
He
money.
had a
yeah.
wedding band called Millennium. You heard of them.
Not Millennium.
I play with the
Millennium, yes, the girl with the tambourine.
I went to school for music. I was a musician. I was doing a gig at Villa Lombardi's.
Villa Lombardi.
I was putting my drums back in the car, and this ding dong was like, "Hey, can I take your spot? You leaving?" And I said, "Yeah." And I said, "What band are you in?" He goes, "Oh no, I'm a comedian. We're setting up for a show tonight." Immediately I went, I always dreamt of being a stand-up comedian.
And then they became lovers.
And then he licked my ass. And then I knew I was in love.
Because everybody thinks you're
Do
gay.
you believe in love after all?
Everybody thinks you're gay.
Yeah, of course.
Including myself.
Why is that?
Why is
Because,
because
he's got that feminine way about him.
I do? I don't know.
Patty, tell the truth.
It is theatrical. You have a
Patty.
theatrical.
Wait, you're asking the wrong person.
Hold on.
This is the wrong person to ask who's gay and who isn't gay.
No, but I will admit, the first time I met him, I thought you were gay. I really
Really?
did. And as a matter of fact, when I was driving on
You, but not her
I
husband.
go, Kevin,
Now she just thinks everybody's
She
gay.
was surprised 20 years after the marriage. What?
it never occurred to me that my first husband was gay. But I did say to my fiance after I met Eric, I go, that guy's funny. He's a nice guy. I go, what do you think? He's gay, right? He goes, I don't know. I go, something a little gay about him.
I don't know. That's cool.
Well,
Eric.
my wife is waiting for that any day now.
No,
She's like,
I want
it's
you
just
to know.
I think she would have noticed after like the 40th ass banging. Like,
We never did
Oh, I'm
that.
sorry, you're
I
Greek,
never
you
did
know.
that with my first
All
husband.
right. Take it
boy.
down a notch.
But do other people think you're gay?
yeah, it's in my act. I talk about
What do you?
it.
Yeah, what is it?
Well,
There are
because
certain
God
guys
forbid,
You wear
a
really
guy,
tight jeans.
no,
No,
tell
God
him what
forbid
it
a
is.
guy
Listen.
dresses
Nicely.
Gay.
halfway decent.
No, do your
What
joke.
What am I wearing
Gay.
right now?
Do your joke
No, I'm
about
not doing
Well,
my
no,
joke.
not
the
now.
car
You're
you
not
drive.
No, but I'm saying if you wear shoes that are not sneakers, if
He
if
wears
they're
brown
nice.
shoes.
Oh, look.
You're Metro
You would have brown
Sal,
shoes.
Sal
He's
says,
Metro.
I think Sal is from the railroad. He works with my husband. He's a cute, Sal, little short guy. He's
I don't think that's how you're supposed to describe a man.
Sal,
a
the little
guy.
short guy. He's always at the parties, and he's cute. He's an electrician / railroad guy. He says he thought you were adjusting something under the table. Now, they could see what you're doing.
I had my glasses on.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yes.
Clear
Well,
it up.
thanks
But,
for chiming in.
But there are a lot of guys that seem gay, like
Buddy Fitzpatrick.
No, not Buddy Fitzpatrick.
Yeah,
Patty,
Buddy.
hold on a second. Patty, stop sticking up for him.
He
doesn't
gay.
seem gay?
He doesn't seem.
No,
well,
he's
does
not
he
gay.
seem gay? He might seem a
could
little
be,
gay,
yeah.
but he's not gay. But does he? He has that kind of. He does something with his neck and head.
His
That's,
face.
that
Okay,
would
let
be-
me just say
He
one thing.
purses his lips.
I don't care if you're gay.
If you
listen,
were
Now's
gay.
your chance to come out.
Let me
Eric
explain
Haft,
It'll
something.
be
go ahead.
I don't
okay.
care if anybody's gay.
I don't either.
Right.
I really don't. Obviously. But
I will have children with gay men. I don't care.
I
and
don't
I
care
have.
if you're gay. I
Carrie,
will not
how
have
could I
children.
be gay? I'm married.
I will not care if you're gay. But
freaking
to
married.
live the lie,
Yes.
live the lie
Yes.
like your husband did, that bothers me.
Well,
Yes, let's
because-
talk about this.
I-
He's fighting it. He
what
probably
was he
was fighting.
fighting? Do you think? What was he holding in?
Okay,
what
Eric's-
was it about him? Didn't you
Eric's
notice
doing-
anything?
Okay,
Did
Eric's-
you notice anything about him? The way he crossed his legs? Was it anything?
okay. Right now, gay people listening to the show are going,
They're like,
that
"We're-
guy, that's not how
He's
we
not
talk.
gay.
That's
See?
not how
No,
we
right
talk.
now, gay
I'm not
people
gay,
are
that's
watching
it.
going, and Eric is gay.
Yeah, no, but that's. But
No,
why? I mean, that's my point. It's
What's that guy's name?
way
Tim
you talk.
Crumpier?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he
He's
seems
another one that
gay.
could seem
He
gay, but I
seems
don't think
gay.
he is gay. But he has a thing about him,
He's
like
married. He's got 2 kids.
he does.
That doesn't mean
It doesn't
anything.
mean you're not gay.
But he has a way about him, and I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. It's just a thing.
Right.
It's a thing where
No.
you just think they're and every time I see Tim Crumpier, he always says the same thing. He goes blah blah blah, and I just love it. Well, but I'm not gay. Every time that
trying
is in
to
the
convince himself.
conversation, he always
He's trying
drops
to
the line, "I'm
yes,
not gay."
He does. I'm not gay.
But that always seems more gay to me when you're convincing me that you're not gay.
But I think it's like a compliment, actually. I mean,
To be
I've,
gay?
I've had guys hit on me. In my
Really?
act, I talk about on an airplane. It really happened to me. Guy I was like getting free shit. He was bringing around.
and
like-
Eric was going along with
and
it
I was
for the
going
free
along
stuff.
for the free stuff.
headset.
I was getting like.
So you
I
were
got
leading him
champagne,
on.
then I got really good red wine, and
The flight
my
attendant.
brother-in-law next to me was like,
Yeah,
"Would
flight
you
attendant.
stop?" He's like, "Stop." I'm like, "Stop what?" He's like, "He thinks you're gay," and I'm like, "No." And I'm like,
Really?
he's just a nice guy. And sure enough, I went to the back of the plane
And
like,
he fingered
and
you.
he's like, when did you first realize you were gay? He said that to me. And I said, when you fed me the lobster. Anyway.
No, he didn't ask you
No,
that.
he really did. I swear to God.
He
Yeah,
said, when did you first know you were gay?
Yeah, like we were just hanging out in the back. I was stretching. And he
When
said,
you were
Everybody
blowing
hangs
me.
out in the
and you were
back.
blowing
He
me.
was stretching over the seat. How are you stretching?
Here's
Well,
what I don't
we were
understand.
crammed
Why
in a
would he-
little bathroom together.
What?
What did you say? What did you say when he said, when was the first time you knew you were gay? Did
I
you
said,
play
I'm
along?
not gay. I
And
was
then he said,
embarrassed.
"Stop it."
I was like, I know you gave me all that free shit, but I'm not gay. Sorry. Do I give up anything now?
I have to give you the
Do I
shit
have to
back?
pay for what I have that
Yes,
stuff?
pay for the headset.
So,
Wow.
yeah. And he was like, oh, my God. He's like, I just assumed.
I'm telling you.
And then he, I swear, he said, would you ever consider it?
And what did you say?
I said, oh, I didn't want to, I didn't know what to say. So I said,
Maybe.
you never know. It was like one of
See?
those.
You
What's
never
you never
know.
know. What's for
You
dessert?
never know. That's
the
a
punchline.
possibility of being gay. Maybe you're fluid.
Maybe.
Isn't
Maybe
that
I'm
the
just
word?
open-minded.
Ew.
I'm open-minded.
Now let me ask you a
Ew.
question.
Fluid is a weird
Let me
word.
It's
ask
just
two
not going to be
women.
with Rich.
Let me just ask two women this.
Yes.
Do I appear
No,
to
you're
be gay?
no, not at all. First of all, the
Well,
outfit.
Tell
his
my
wife
wife.
is. She just got on. She says, "Hi, Rich Walker." Now his wife is watching.
Yes.
She always
She
says
thinks I'm
he's
gay.
gay with Eric. She thinks they have a love affair.
Interesting.
But I'm always gay with anybody. It was
What is
Steve
that?
Lazarus
She
before.
does. Yes,
or-
yes. She thinks you're gay.
Well, you do always have bromances. I don't know what they're not sexual, but you latch on to a guy. Let's be honest.
I do?
Well, I
Yes.
never saw you without Lazarus like all the time. Come on.
No, but we were just on show. We would book you
It was
on
a
show
biblical
together.
thing.
Excuse me, Manny.
He fumbled there.
No, it wasn't fun. It was just an odd thing
See,
to
look,
say.
you defended Manny. No,
Are you
Manny's-
bullying him now?
What, you bullying
Oh my
me?
God,
Why are you
that's so
bullying
not
all the time?
nice,
He
Manny.
is. He is. But anyway,
Yeah, I think it's just who the hell knows.
What does
You're
it
not allowed
matter
to dress
anyway?
nice. You can't dress nice. You can't wear good cologne. People it's like if you
Oh,
do anything,
but
you're
she
gay.
said-
He's going
she's
into bits.
saying she's saying that you talk 3 times a day to Eric and to each
No,
other.
that was-
3 times a day.
Not anymore.
I work, by the way. I
Not
work for a
anymore.
living.
Stop.
On the
Oh,
way,
yeah.
on the way here,
Yeah.
I was yelling at them because they were supposed to be at Gyrolicious at 1:30, and they didn't show up till 2. But when we hung up the phone, they were on the expressway. They never hung up. I muted it, and I listened to them rehearse their lines for their play that they're doing.
No,
You're
it's
in a
not
play
play, it's a
together?
class.
It was terrible.
Yes, it was like who is it?
Torture.
Sam Shepard.
Yeah,
you're in a
from
Sam Shepard play
True.
together.
Yes. True West.
True West.
I love
We
True
weren't
West.
in a play. Yes, that did a scene.
Rich,
And the
make
scene
it
was
sound
true.
bigger than it is.
Yes, we were doing a play
Yeah,
together.
on
All right,
Broadway.
but see, even this
Yeah,
is.
off
But
Broadway.
even
Richie's
this is a little
Basement.
gay, right?
Off Broadway in
'Cause your
Massapequa.
Your husband would never be in a play, right, Carrie?
He would.
No.
Her
No.
husband tries
Well,
everything.
actually,
though.
you know what?
He
When I
camps. He took
first-
stand-up university.
Yes, he'll try
does
anything.
Oh, he does.
Race car.
And he might try
right?
that.
Was he funny in stand-up university? Was your husband?
You know
Yes,
what?
he was.
He was. I'll tell you what my husband does have. He does have that quick wit.
He's very funny.
Very
He
quick.
had a joke.
Like
I'll
one
tell you.
time, we had just put the cameras in Gyrolicious, and the one camera you could zoom in, right? So we're at home, and I'm zooming in on everybody, right? So all of a sudden, these 2 girls were at the register. They're kind of big girls, like me.
You're not big.
I'm big, but they were a little bigger than me. Plus, the camera puts 10 pounds on you. So all of a sudden, I zoomed in on their ass because you could zoom in on a penny with this camera. You know, he was mad at me because I spent $1,000
Is
on
this
this one
so
camera.
people don't steal, right?
Right.
Okay.
So I zoom in on her ass. I go, so you want to hit that? He goes, yeah, with my car.
That's a great line.
Yeah, well, he does come up with these really.
He is
funny-
very
He
funny.
had a line in the class. He said that he was doing track maintenance on the railroad, right?
Yeah.
And he says one time his wife came down, and I showing her all over the place and showing her everything, and for the life of me, I couldn't get her to touch that third rail. That's the truth.
Yeah,
He's very funny.
He's got very good, timing, and he's very funny. I think I think he could have done something 20 years ago. Christine writes, Carrie has to sit in the middle of them to separate them. Absolutely, Christine, because
Hey,
there'd
I
be a
was-
lot of footsie and handsy playing here.
I wasn't the one who went to the colonoscopy with him, ladies and gentlemen. It was Carrie.
Okay,
Oh.
so
You did? You
no,
took him?
Let me tell you what
No,
happened. I
she-
did not
she
take
picked me
him.
She
So
picked him up.
he has a
Where's
colonoscopy.
Walker?
He had a colonoscopy today. All right, now,
Today?
This morning.
You had a colonoscopy today?
Yes.
And then came here?
Yes.
Yeah, well, let me explain what happened.
Oh, my God.
So yesterday, he calls up, and Mitchell Walters is busting in. So he calls up, and
What's he saying?
he calls up my husband, and he says, I go to him, Richie, you got to, try to be as light the day before of the prep.
Right.
So the day before the prep, try to eat light, liquids and stuff like that.
Right.
So then he calls Sam, or he hung out with Sam, and Sam says to him, oh, you could eat the morning of.
No.
He said you could eat breakfast.
No, you can't.
So this
first of all,
idiot-
he said I eat breakfast. And then 2 other people told me they eat breakfast. It's all right because at
Now,
night,
meanwhile, at 1 in the
it leaves your
morning,
system.
at 1 in the morning the night before, he left his comedy acting class or class, whatever, and he
midnight.
ate like a full cheeseburger, fries,
No,
the
no,
whole nine.
Applebee's.
That is so gross.
with
Wait.
rice with corn in it.
Stop it.
The doctor was like,
That's
what the
disgusting.
hell's going on
That
in
is
here?
horrible.
So now I go 7 a.m. to fix my tooth.
Yes.
Right. You said 8. Oh, you
No,
left at 7.
I left at 7 to get there by 8. I got to drive all the way to freaking Amityville to get a doctor to take my insurance. And I found him through him because if you want any kind of bargain for doctors, he knows them.
Is the best. Yeah.
So
I get my doctors
so
from
cheap.
Valpak.
exactly. So the guy obviously put my tooth in last week. It popped out again. All right.
So you went back to the same guy to glue it back in again?
Yeah.
He's really good. Really good.
Really
It's
good.
not
He
his-
doesn't
How
wear
good is he
gloves.
if it
He doesn't
comes
wear
out-
gloves.
What do you mean he
It's
doesn't wear
disgusting.
gloves?
Anyway, so but it's free.
kidding me?
He's
It's
a
free.
proctologist. What the fuck? Oh, wait.
That's where her tooth is.
So,
Stop.
so now he goes to me. Tugboat was supposed to pick him up, and then they're like, "Well, since you're going to be at the dentist, I'll get him."
Okay.
He goes, "Go early. They're taking me early." I get there. I'm waiting an hour and a half for this fuck. Right? So I go in. I meet the doctor, Indian doctor. He goes, "Well, we have to go back next year. You got to come back next year." So I'm thinking they found polyps, whatever, because my husband's like.
Wait, you're talking about the tooth?
No, the-
me,
Oh, his
my-
ass.
His
Oh,
ass.
okay.
He found nothing.
He found nothing, no
But-
polyps, but he found a mountain of shit on the right side of his intestines because this fucking idiot ate breakfast, so he couldn't see with the camera.
Oh, you idiot! You
So he
idiot!
goes, "You're gonna everything look clean today. You have to come. You have to come back in
See,
another
so now
year."
you got to do it again.
Yeah,
So
I
stupid.
know.
But now he goes to me yesterday. He goes, "Well, I drank the stuff. It was easy. It was great." He goes, "I go, think of it this way." He
It
goes,
was
"I don't feel
iced
anything
tea.
happening." I go to him, "Listen, here's how it's going to work. It's like a champagne cork. It's
After you
the
shook
first,
the bottle.
after you shake the bottle, the first pop." And then it's all party.
You know,
And hold your ass.
the first time it happened where I had to go in for something like that, I was, I lived by myself in this shitty apartment down in the West Village. And I didn't have my own toilet in the apartment. The toilet was down the hall. And it was summertime, so the window was open. So I'm like, oh, I drank it. Nobody told me that it was going to come out with gusto and force and what was involved. So I'm in there. I go in there and I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, I feel, it's coming out. Okay, here we go. Then all of a sudden it was just like, ba 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 ba, just like the most loud, horrible noises. And I could hear the people in the apartment kitty corner to my toilet. They had their window open. And they're laughing their asses off. And they're going, and the one guy is going, he was this gay
shitting her
guy
brains
who
out.
lived there. And he's going to his friends. He goes, shh, 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 shh. And I'm trying to hold it in. And then all of a sudden it goes, duh, duh, like a big thing. And I hear them all go, ah! And then he's like, shh, 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 shh. They're like waiting for my
But you know what I
next
would have said?
shit.
You know what I would have said? I would have went like this. I would have went, "Sam, can you keep it down in there?"
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't even get up to close the window behind
Yeah,
me
'cause you would've
because
shit
it
all
was
over
coming
everything.
out in such force and I was in there for you're in there for 2 hours. I couldn't leave.
I
It's-
couldn't even walk
Yeah.
from the couch. I'm like, oh, I feel it again.
I just
I
sat
was
there
like,
all night.
I had to wear a diaper.
Stop it! You did not.
Manny went for his. They told me he has to come back once a week.
I liked it so much. Brandon Irizarry says, "How can Rich Walker sit down after a colonoscopy.
Well, you know what the good thing
Exactly.
about
It was
you know what the
nothing.
good thing about his colonoscopy today
Yes.
was the doctor found Eric's high school ring.
Yes.
So
I got it back.
he got it back, and we all thought, because it's hard to replace a high school ring.
It's gold. Solid gold. I mean,
Hey guys, Peter Bales.
Peter
chimed
Bales?
in.
What's he
Yes.
saying?
He said Carrie's husband was an inspiration at stand-up university, passing his wife in stand-up ability in just a few weeks.
Yes. www.standupuniversity.com.
Peter Bales had to put in that little plug for his
Very
for
smart
his
move.
class. Very
He
good, Peter
did,
Bales.
he
Yes.
did. We're not talking about your wife, Peter, how far she's passed you in height and everything else.
And breakdancing.
And breakdancing. Yeah, we got to have them on because we got to talk about
They
how
don't-
those two ever got together. I
see
don't
it.
understand
I don't
it.
see it. Because I always thought he was gay.
Yeah, Peter Bales can seem a little gay.
Yeah, I never got that from him. I mean, never made a pass at
No,
me.
you know what it was? It wasn't that I thought he was gay. I just thought he was
No, he's
got- shy. He's
incredibly boring. So what does she see in him?
Peaches is very gregarious. Is that the word? Very loud, very
Fun.
very Latin, very
Yeah.
moves around, dances around, she's all over the
Outgoing,
place.
yeah.
And then
Outgoing.
Peter's barely.
He's introverted.
He's got the little glasses.
Yeah.
He's got the little blonde hair brushed off to the side.
Yes.
You know. With
Yeah.
Like Peach, is it Guantanamera or one-ton tomato?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What did Craig? Who is that?
Peter. You know,
That's
he's
Peter
so
Bales.
Is it one ton?
Is it one-ton tomato or Guantanamera?
I don't
Very
even know what this
interesting.
is.
Spanish.
I always thought it was one-ton
Ask
tomato.
Peach,
That's all.
forget it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
What's
Peach, he said Peach needed citizenship. Okay, but now it's past the 5 years, Peter. She can leave now. I guess your pension's holding her back.
He's my parole officer. He paid me.
That's funny.
But wait a minute. So were you funny the first time you went on stage, Eric Haft?
We did this already, Pat.
No, he
No,
didn't
that
tell
was
me the
him.
first time.
I took
He
their
said.
class. I did. I took stand-up U, and I.
And
yeah,
were
I
you
had
funny?
I had a great set. I had a great set.
Again.
I love
He
it.
still uses
I don't
it
believe
as
it.
his.
No, I have that on
bombed.
videotape.
I'll be honest. I bombed my ass off.
No,
Oh
it
my
was
God.
great.
That's 'cause
But
you
wait a
didn't
second.
have-
Let's
you
be
didn't have
fair.
coaching.
50 of the people in the audience were there to see me. Give me a break. So that first performance is like.
I remember.
I was funny for
It
the
was a
first time.
padded audience.
I
Right.
remember being
Manny was there.
in 1982
Yes.
when I hit the stage at stand up.
Where?
No, that's stand up comic strip.
That was your first place? That was my first place.
Gabe
It was
Abelson.
second.
Gabe Abelson was my teacher.
I love Gabe Abelson.
I know, and he went on to be a fucking writer for David Letterman.
That's
and
right,
blah, blah,
head
blah.
writer.
Head writer. And then I remember having a hat and potato chips, and I was like, "You mind if I eat?" Well, girls from Brooklyn always get what they want.
Wait a minute,
Like,
this was on stage?
This was my act. It was so bad. I had a big toothbrush, and I said Arsenio Hall's toothbrush. It was terrible. It was so bad. I have the tape to prove how bad it was.
I was terrible too. I have a tape of me the first time when I auditioned at the comic strip. I swear to God, that was back when Madonna was big. I'm wearing a tutu, like a tutu, a big blue tutu. I'm wearing black and white striped tights. I'm wearing my hair in a ponytail off to the side. I have big earrings that I used to, in my act, I would call them my IUDs because they were these big white things coming down. It was like one bad thing after another. I'm wearing some fucking weird colored top, and I'm wearing bright, like orange colored Converse. And I walk in, and Lucian looks at me and he goes, "Oh, Miss Roseborough." Lucian. He goes, "Oh, I guess he goes, it was quite some outfit you have on there." He goes, "I guess you're figuring if you're not funny, at least you will look funny." And that is exactly kind of what I thought. I kind of thought, well,
Right.
I'm going to look funny so that
So
they
they're gonna
know
laugh.
I'm going to be funny.
Right.
But it was so bad. I ate it so
I have to
bad.
ask you a question now. Being that was like one of your first routines.
That was
right? And you wore you had a joke for the
Yeah, I
earrings.
had a joke for the
How
earrings.
many more shows after that did you have to wear the earrings so you did the
Listen,
joke?
if a joke worked, I remember wearing those earrings for about a year.
Well, look, it worked for Claudia Sherman. She wore that wedding
Oh, that
dress for 15 years.
Poor Claudia. I know she knows to try. It must have stunk too. You can't
Did.
wash
You
it.
can't wash that thing. And it was bulky getting up on that stage and bashing your head.
Peter Bales says Manny was almost kicked out of stand-up university for touching the female students.
Manny, here's the thing. We only read the funny ones.
Oh.
And
Patty, let me ask you a question.
at the
So
end,
Charlie.
you have a pretty raunchy act, if you want it to be, right? You
Yes.
curse a lot.
Yes.
Raunchy.
Not
I don't know
raunchy.
if
No,
it's
no,
raunchy.
not in a bad way raunchy,
Okay.
but you curse a lot,
Yes,
right?
I do. I can't, but I can
What
take
is-
it out.
Give me an example. There had
no,
to be a
don't make
time
me
where
do
you
a bit.
walked into a place where they thought you were going to be clean, and you just did your act.
What do you do?
Oh, yeah, I did.
No, but
You
like
have
you just
children
did your act.
sit up front?
Yeah, I tell them, I will say, if I get to a show and there are kids down front and nobody's told me and I don't see it till I walk up there, I say, who's your mother? And then they go, her. And I go, you may not want your kid to see my act. I go, I didn't let my
Because I'm
own...
about to blow this microphone.
I'm about to deep
Blow
throat
by
this
blow.
No, but did you ever just do your act? I'm not even talking about if you see kids. Like, you thought I could just do whatever the hell I want, but it turned out. Like,
I did. I told the story on what's his name, Kevin Brennan's. But I did the show for Jewish people, like religious Jews.
The rabbi was there.
And this guy went up before me, a Jewish guy, and he sang all Jewish songs. He goes, I'm just going to go up do a couple of songs. He did like fucking 7 songs. He did half
That
an
was
hour.
the cantor. It was
And
during service.
they're all singing these fucking Jewish songs. Ma 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 bacha. And then, you know the song, ma 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 macha, and they're all going, da, 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 da. And they're all like going back with their hands. I swear to God. And I'm sitting there like sweating, like, and the guy comes over to me, goes, don't worry about a thing. The guy who booked me, don't worry, you can say cunt. He goes to me, you can say cunt. And I go, I don't think I can say cunt. I don't even say cunt. I go, but he goes,
I'm going to say it
goes,
now.
what's
Fucking cunt.
Who is that cunt who was singing up here? No, what's her name?
Bring that cunt back.
Who's the girl? Lisa Lee. He goes, Lisa Lampanelli was here a month ago or 2 months ago, and she said,
They
don't
loved
worry,
her.
don't
They
worry,
loved
they loved
her.
her. Okay, so the guy finishes, literally gets a standing ovation. All the Jews are on their feet. They're like crying. He's beautiful, the Mama song. And
It was Neil Diamond. Back in America.
So it literally, the guy who books me literally does this. Standing ovation, they're still standing, he goes, and now Patty Rossborough. Everybody sits down.
boy.
It's like fucking dead silence. Nobody's applauding.
The
nothing.
blood has left the room.
I
It's
go-
drained the veins.
Exactly. I do my first joke to nothing. I do my second joke, nothing. I do 6 jokes in a row, literally nothing. Like I've never gotten nothing in my life, like nothing. And then I think, well, I'm going to talk to the crowd, and I go, hey, you know how it is, because and I'm talking to the woman.
They're
She
screaming at you.
looks down,
Right,
looks
Shlomo?
down. Right. The women are all looking down. Nobody will look at me. And I look at the guy, and I go to him, I thought you said I could say anything. I swear to God, he just turns around and acts like he's talking to somebody.
Yeah.
I have to do 45 minutes to dead silent.
I would have went up and went, Hava, Nagila, Hava.
You know, that's because you are funny. I
I'm
should
going to
have
tell
done
you
that.
what
I
happened to
should have
me.
done that.
Because Tom and Genio, if he's watching, he's notorious for booking you in places where you do not belong. He books me.
Wait, he's raising his hand. You have Tom and Jenny
Tom
there?
and Genio.
No,
on
no,
the
no,
phone?
no,
Oh, wait,
no.
he's interrupting you.
It's a good story.
Peter Bell said, ask Patty to demonstrate her X-rated tapes.
What is
What
that?
are my
mean?
X-rated tapes? My comedy? I don't have X-rated comedy
Okay,
tapes.
let them be relevant to what we're talking about.
Come on, Manny.
So here's the thing. So he books me, and I bring Bernadette Pauly with me because I want to give her time because
Right?
she's a female.
Because you're a good egg.
But I love female comics and whatever. So I bring her with me, and I figured she'll do 10 minutes and I'll do 40. That'll be a 50-minute show.
Perfect.
I'm supposed to do 45, whatever. I get there. First thing that goes wrong, I forgot my makeup case. So now I have 0 makeup.
I can't perform without makeup.
No lipstick.
I
Nothing.
I can't do it.
I forgot the whole case. So now that was the beginning of the bad.
Yeah.
I get there. It's a big Chinese auction. And
Chinese auction?
Yeah, all the baskets where you put the tickets in.
Oh.
Okay. I'm in the green room, and the guy goes, I go, what is the benefit for? It's the Christian benefit. It's all Christians. There's a table of priests in the front row. 5 priests in their uniform with the white thing.
Horrible.
Any nuns? Fucking motherfuckers. So now I'm on the phone like I'm calling Ingenio, like, and it's a Sunday afternoon or whatever the fuck it was. I'm like, and I'm leaving a message. How could you fucking do this to me? You better fucking call me back. I'm like sweating so bad because people don't understand. Like, you could be really funny, but then you could be just as not funny.
Exactly.
And
with the wrong crowd.
And just as not funny, and not only that, now you're humiliated for 45 minutes.
That's right.
So I looked at Bernie and I go, listen, I'm going to do 30, you do 10. She goes, I'm not going up.
She did not.
I go, Bernie, you have to go up.
What?
So I convinced Bernie to go up.
She bombs.
Wait, no. So he comes in the room. So now I'm like,
Who's he?
The guy who
The guy.
booked the room.
Okay.
So now he goes, no sexual innuendos and no cursing.
Oh, God.
And
no
no
religion.
Carrie Carruthers.
That's your whole act.
My whole act, because I was single.
Oh.
So now, I go around to every basket, and I'm like, okay, there's cleaners in there. I'm going to write a joke about that. I was writing jokes about each basket. So Bernie's like, oh, my God, what am I going to talk about? I'm like, Bernie, just do your 10. So I go to him. This is Bernadette Pauly. She's a female comic. She's going to do 10 to open up for me, and then I'll do the rest. And he goes, nope, just you.
What?
Why?
Why did he want
Shouldn't
her?
have told him.
What
Just
if she was
her.
funnier?
Shouldn't have said anything.
He's taking a gamble.
Just her.
Will they run out of time?
Well, no, so here's so now I go. They don't even bring me up. I have to walk up to a
Yeah,
dead.
I hate when they
No,
don't give you an
hey,
intro.
here she is. Clap. She just drove 7
Put
The
your
rest-
hours.
hands together.
The recipe for disaster.
Yeah,
That's
it's
it.
horrible.
No introduction.
Horrible. I go up, and I go. Bless me, fathers. I'm about to sin. You might not want to sit in the front. And I ad-libbed for 40 minutes.
I can't believe that.
I ad-libbed. I went from table to table to table to table. And it was funny because with those crowds, you could really say anything corny.
Yeah.
And they
Love
laugh.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
They love corny. And when I got off stage, Bernadette Pauly looked at me and goes, I can't even believe what you just did. She goes, I'm going to bow down here because that was brilliant.
But let's tell Tom and Jenny I did perform.
Wait, what?
Bernadette Pauly.
Oh, Bernadette.
Let's tell Tom and Jenny I did
No,
perform.
he would hate when I do that. He would
When
be
you
like,
bring
why
people?
did you bring her?
Oh, she
Why did
wasn't
she go on?"
booked.
No.
Oh, yeah, yeah, he wouldn't like that. Yeah.
So I just ad lib stupid shit like and one time I was talking about the tattoos and I'm like, you know how these stupid kids get the tattoos and you don't know what they say, it's in Chinese, right? You could say I'm an idiot instead of saying I'm an asshole, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
So I changed the words around a little.
Yeah.
I go, but if you're gonna get a tattoo, you might as well cover something up with it. Like, I go to this lady, what's a really ugly part to a body? The balls, and that was my act.
Oh, yeah, that's your bit.
Well, back then.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, I looked at the priest. I go, I didn't say it. She said it. I didn't say it. The crowd went nuts, laughing, cheering.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it does work in your favor when you do that, but that's good that you can improv
What?
because. Oh no, go ahead.
No, I was going to tell you, Tom, with Peter Bales, we get down to, we get a call to do a gig together. This is so many years ago. And they said that this is a cancer benefit for a gentleman who's actually in the hospital and he's dying now from cancer. But if he dies, we're not going to do the show. But if he lives, we're going to do the show. So we get it, and like the guys. In the
Here's what I
hospital-
would say: do I still get paid?
Well, yeah,
that would be my
well,
first
they said
question.
it's going to cancel. It will cancel if he dies. But so we get there, and we and him are about to go up, and it's all people. It's very somber. And they go, before we bring up our wonderful comedians, we're going to bring up Father David to give a nice little speech.
A eulogy?
A eulogy. No, but he gets up and goes, we're all going to pray and put our heads down in silence. And then we had to go up after that.
That's
Like,
terrible.
It was the worst. It was so bad.
I did a gig with Joey Cola like that, and the guys, it was kids with cancer or whatever it was, and the guy, the doctors, like some Asian guys, they're going, it's terrible, the children die, and the thing, and the die, and the die. And Joey Cola looks at me and he goes to me, what the fuck is going on here? He goes, you can't go on after that, because I was opening for him, and I go, yeah, you're telling me. He goes, and he's, Joey Cola, he's like a little ball of energy scurrying around. He goes, you gotta like say, you go up after this guy and say, we're going to take a break, go get some drinks, and in 10 minutes, we're going to start the comedy show, because there's no way that you can go up after dead children from cancer. Like you can't do that. So that's what they did, and then the show was fine. But like I did a show for Fat Rat Bastard. What's that guy's name? Jeff Parami?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I always have to take a break after a guy like John LaRocchia goes on because I got.
And now the comedy show begins.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm just singing him a little just so to get his.
Why is he listening?
Being a
he
bully.
might
Being
be.
a
Being a
bully.
bully.
Bully. Carrie is a
Oh, okay. But Fat Rat Bastard, he brings me to the show, and he goes, it's mostly old people. I go, well, you think I'm right for them? And he goes, yeah, I think it'll be fine. Don't worry about it. You can do what you want, and blah, blah, blah. I go, okay, great. And he's going to headline, so he's having me open for him or whatever. And I go, okay. So I go up, and I'm talking, I'm doing okay. And then there's this woman with her family, and I'm talking about sex after 50. And I go, how's your sex life? First I said, what's the show about? And they go, it's a benefit for chairs for the Catholic school. I go, great. Okay, nothing I have to worry about. So I go to the woman. She's right down front. She's with her kids, everybody else, big table. I go, how's your sex life? And then she just looks at me, and she doesn't say anything. And go, yeah, I know. I know what it's like. It's rough, right? It's rough. And her daughter's behind her, like, giving me the no, shaking her head, no. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, and so the woman just, she goes, you ask me that? You ask me how my sex life is? And I go, yeah, how's your sex life? She goes, you don't know what this benefit is for? And
My
I go,
husband just died.
My dead husband. She goes, my dead husband. We do this benefit every year, and we give the money to the chairs and to the... Nobody fucking tells... They tell me it's the chairs for the Catholic school, but nobody tells me it's because her husband died, and it's the dead guy that now the money's going to the chairs.
God,
so
Patty.
she goes... So I go, oh, wow. I go, I'm really sorry. She goes, you knew, she goes to me, you knew in front of everybody.
You're on
in
stage
front of everybody,
fighting
I'm on
with her.
stage. She goes, you knew, and you thought it would be funny to humiliate me about my dead husband. And I go, and nobody told me. Now I'm having this thing with her, and I can't say anything because the whole fucking crowd knows her. It's not like it's one woman I can make it. And I go, listen, it's not at all that. I go, you okay? And she goes, fine, go. She goes, just do your act like that. And I go, okay. So I start doing like Carrie, go. I start doing my act to dead silence. And everyone's just like whispering like they fucking hated me. Get off. The guy in the back who booked it, he's going like this, like, and I'm going, like, get off. Like, get off. And I knew I had to do half an hour, and of course I want to get paid. So I've been up there 8 minutes, and he's going, get off the stage. And I'm like, okay. And he
Thank
takes
you
me
so much,
he takes me
and
off.
I'm really sorry.
And here's Jeff, and Jeff Parami goes up, and of course is killing. And fucking Parami, every time I see him, he goes, hey, remember that time you bombed at that school? He always talks about it. He goes, remember the time you bombed?
I love Parami.
But it was, oh, God.
I did a show once. I did a show with that guy, Eddie Strange, right? What's his name now? Ross Bennett. Ross Bennett.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm working for.
Why did they change their name?
Listen, I don't know.
Was his name real? It was
Eddie
never
Strange.
Eddie
It
Strange
was-
was a made up name, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it.
So, but I'm working this show, and I'm working for a booker, no names, who's blind, right? And
I
first
know
of
that
all,
booker.
Yes, I did 10 shows for him, slaughtered. This is the first one. He goes, I'm going to come to that show and bring my family. We're going to have dinner before the show. So I get down there.
Too bad he wasn't deaf.
So he goes to me.
He would have fucking
He
booked
had
you
wished
again.
he was. He had wished he was. So he says to me, he goes, listen, the owner of this restaurant, his name is Chunky. They want you to make fun of Chunky. He looks like Bluto from, like, the guy that used to beat up Popeye, the big fat, with a big beard. He had a white, like, Kangol hat, and he had a white vest, all wear it all black. You make fun of Chunky. The audience loves it if you make fun of Chunky. So I'm like, okay, Chunky. And they go, ladies and gentlemen, bring up Eddie Strange is following me, right? And I go up and I go, hey, let's give a nice big round of applause to Chunky. I'm like, it's packed, right? I go, let's give a round of applause to Chunky. I said, that's what you get. That's what you get when you mix raisins with a whole lot of chocolate. Like Chunky, but they're like, who the fuck is he to make fun of Chunky? They're taking the jackets
Oh, my
off.
God.
They're standing up. I'm like, hey, whoa, relax. I couldn't get a laugh. Right? 25 minutes go by. It was I bombed because
They
I
wanted
made fun
to
of
kill
Chunky.
him.
They wanted to kill me because Chunky's like,
Loved.
They love He's like Manny.
They
love
loved
him.
They loved him.
I know. I'm
And
getting all haters
it's not.
now. from
Maybe
it.
it just wasn't a funny joke, but I was scrambling because. This booker said you got to
They
make
tell
fun
you
of
to
them.
make fun of them.
And he never worked
So
there again.
Eddie Strange goes up and he fucking bashes me like he goes, boy, am I glad I'm up here. You know who's more glad than you? Me. That was like the worst guy I've
He does
ever
not
seen.
say that.
Yeah,
Yes, he did.
ripped me to pieces. I mean, and he kept going, and the audience is,
Oh my
brilliant.
God.
he's brilliant.
Yeah,
And
comics will throw you under
You
the bus.
never throw another comic
yeah,
under
but
the bus.
some do, like him.
he threw me.
I
under
would
the
never
bus.
do that.
And I had a. I sat the rest of the show with my tail between my legs, like, oh my God.
Keep the money. Keep the money. I mean, I'd
money.
give you the pizza back, but it's already.
Yes.
Peter Bell
You know-
said you did a Rain Man impression
Yes,
at
yes.
autism benefit.
Yes, I did.
Oh, no, you didn't.
I used to say I looked like a cross between Dustin Hoffman and Chachi. As soon as I said that, I didn't know what the benefit was for. The benefit.
How do you
the
not know you were at a benefit
The booker
for
said you're
autism?
going to do a benefit, but I got there late, like maybe 10
Right,
minutes
so
before
you
I
don't
got
really
up.
ask.
Right? Well, as soon as I did that, they're loving me, and then they went. The whole audience just like drop face, and then I go, here is Rain Man in a fight. You know, yeah, definitely an extra fight. I start doing the whole thing, and it is dead silence.
When do you figure
Oh
out
my
that it's
God.
an autism
And when he
thing?
got off stage.
So I but I did win them back. You could ask Peter. I won them back. But then after the show, they go, "You do know why you're here? This is parents of autistic
Oh,
children." And I'm
You
like, I
dick.
I also did a show once. Peter was on that one, right? Is that what he mentioned?
Yeah.
We could be here all night.
It
With
was-
you fucking eating your ass on
This is
stage.
hilarious.
This was a good one. The kid.
I've witnessed at least 500. So, I mean, we got the 5-minute right.
I'll do the joke first. The joke was, I went into a shoe store. I said, "Miss, I'd like to try these on in a size 7." And she brought a size 10. She came out and she goes, "We don't have a 10, but we have a 7 and a 12. And I said, "You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to lop off my toes and try on those 7s." And no laugh. It was for the kid. Benefit for the kid who had spinal meningitis, and they just removed his feet that afternoon.
You're such a
They
dick.
removed his legs
That is so
day.
terrible.
And I lopped off my toes and tried on those 7s. And they're like, every asshole tight like this tight. It was funny.
You know, Judy Cianciato.
What?
Judy.
Stop.
No, Judy Cianciato.
Oh, that's another one.
Hold on.
Okay,
we
let
have
it-
we have an hour.
I know. This is that's a
Judy
good one.
Cianciato does a show one night, and you know sometimes the lights are bright, so you really can't see the people.
Yeah.
So she goes to this guy. Oh, so you're here with your son, and he goes, "That's my fucking wife."
Oh,
So now the crowd's laughing. She's like, "Oh, I apologize." Whatever. And now he's ready to beat the shit
mad.
out of her on the stage. So she gets off. The booker cancels her whole weekend.
Oh, my God.
Because after the show, she goes, "Oh, I apologize. The lights are bright." She's petite and she looked like a boy. I don't know. He went after her so bad. He's like, "Fuck you! I want my money back." Like they were like real, like pushing the envelope,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
crazy.
the club owner gave him back the money for the night, and the booker canceled her whole weekend because of one comment. You're here with your son.
That's terrible. I did that once with a guy, and I said to him, I go, "And who's this? Is this your mom?" And he goes, and she goes, "Wait a minute." She goes, "I'm his wife." And I go, I'm like, "Oh," I go, "the lights, you know." But she fucking looked like his mother. She was
How about when
old.
you go, "When are you gonna? You're having the baby? You might not want to listen to this part. I'm not pregnant." Oh well, you still might not want to listen to this part.
You try and change the subject
I did a
fast.
backyard party under a tent. You know when they set up the tent?
Yeah.
And there's this one. It was a birthday party for this guy Larry, right? And Larry, they put him up, and everybody's crowding around Larry. And I do the bit where my thumb spins, and I go.
What do you
to the
mean your
doc-
thumb spins?
I had a thing where it spun for 3
From
months.
jerking
You never
off.
saw the bit.
He was jerking off too much, and then his finger got stuck.
But I did this. So I go to the
It's
doctor.
a true story.
I go to the doctor. I go, what is it? I go I go on Google and I look up, and everything you look up goes Parkinson's. And I go to the doctor. I go, what is it? He goes, it's Parkinson's. And that was I changed the joke since then.
Wait, I don't get it.
It went like this.
Like
So
when
I went,
you Google
I
something,
Googled
it goes to
what
the
a
worst
spinning
possible.
thumb. I go
Right?
spinning thumb.
It's not
for
going
3
to say
months.
from jerking off too much. It's going to say it's Parkinson's.
I go, spinning thumb for 3 months, and everything comes up. Parkinson's.
Oh, okay.
Michael J. Fox, Parkinson's. Michael J.
Go
Fox,
on,
Parkinson's.
nah.
And I do the thing. I go to the doctor. I go, what is it? He goes, it's Parkinson's. So I don't do that anymore. But they go at the barbecue. I'm getting my cheeseburger. You know, I did my set, and they come over to me, and I'm like this. And they're like, you do know this party's for Larry, right? Who's dying of Parkinson's? I go,
Why don't they tell us?
why don't they tell me Larry's dying of
That's
Parkinson's?
like a very important thing to say.
Yes.
I had a. Go
Well,
ahead.
Eric might have a story.
Yes, Eric.
In between
No,
the
I
hairs.
don't. I don't.
4 hours of bombing stories. I mean, we can sit here all night with this.
He could.
Do you have anything to say?
I have nothing.
You have no bombing
I have
stories?
nothing.
Come on.
A bombing story?
No, not bombing.
I've never
not
bombed.
bombing, but like put your foot
Yes,
in your
tell
mouth.
them about the Borgata.
Eric.
The best story I ever had of putting my foot in my mouth was my mother's friend. My mother was living with us in Smithtown for a while, and my mother's like very out. She's like, she would tell us about her friend Maddie. She's like, oh, Maddie, we call her blowjob. Her name is Maddie B. It's for blow. She gives her husband blowjob. She's always talking about blowjob.
Wait, your mother says this to you?
She says, my
His
mother's,
mother's
you got to know
very
my mother.
funny.
She's crazy.
Very funny.
So she's like, oh, blowjob. She goes, hey, Maddie B. It's blowjob. She's always blowing him, So Maddie B calls my house. And,
How
it's
old
the old.
is Maddie B?
She's like, at this time, she's like
80.
65 years old.
Oh, okay.
My mother's living with me. And I got one of the phones that hangs on the wall.
Well,
and
your
I
mother's
just
living
pushed,
with you or you're
yeah,
living with your mother?
She's living with me.
All right,
and
let's not
she's
change the story
And she's in my No, so my mother's in my master bedroom, and I got the old phone hanging on the wall, and I hit the speaker button. I go, hello, and she says, Eric, it's Maddie B. And I said, oh, hi, Maddie, how are you? She says, is your mother there? I just want to have a quick question for her. And I said, sure. And I, instead of hitting the whole button, I hit the speaker button. I go, Ma, blowjob's on the phone. And all of a sudden I hear, oh, wow, she said, I have some reputation.
Well, she had a good sense of humor.
I was like, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute, Maddie. It wasn't about you.
Ma,
Blowjob's on the phone.
that's hilarious.
And then my mother's got to pick up the phone in the other room, and she doesn't know what happened. And I was like, I just hung up, and I walk in. And my mother's going, I don't know what that moron was even talking about. He was probably talking about his wife.
I don't blow my husband. I don't know. No idea what a blowjob is.
Oh, that's the
That's
biggest foot in the
funny.
mouth. So.
Now we're almost done. Any other stories? Rich
No,
bombing
no.
stories?
No.
He's
I
done.
have no more. I've only, in 23 years, only bombed 3 times, and that was
Oh.
Manny, do you have a bomb story, honey?
No.
Yeah, the first time I ever
Go with
performed
last night.
in front of
Go with
no
the
the
most
first
Oh, he's bullying you.
yeah he's bullying
Bully.
me.
Okay. What?
I bomb in the middle of the night when people aren't even performing, like at a music venue.
What do you
know
mean?
I
You go to music venues to do comedy?
Yeah, I do it on purpose so I get myself uncomfortable. You know?
This is the weirdest story.
No, it's
Look
true
at Carrie's
though.
face.
It's true though. But Eric, tell them the story about the Borgata, about how.
Oh, no.
What happened?
No. About how I people were asking me how Eric is, and I'm like, oh, Eric's great. Meanwhile, they told me I was going to perform there, and then you called me up.
I called him to say thanks, man. He was like always so supportive.
I'm starting to see why they bully Manny.
Wait, so go ahead. What happened?
They listen. In my first year of comedy, I got a call from Darcy and Richie after they had their meeting that I was going to perform at the Borgata in Atlantic City, and I was so excited. So anyway,
They don't use me. Let me just.
But
throw
hold
that in.
on.
Okay,
but
go ahead.
You never performed there.
I never performed
Right.
there.
Words are cheap.
Yeah, no, I realized that. But anyway, so
They
were,
had like an
Well,
open
this was-
audition
Right.
Yeah.
This
at a
was
restaurant.
before they saw his act.
Yeah. No, but
No,
so
Manny's
anyway,
funny.
Eric calls
is
me
funny.
up.
He
Eric
is
calls
funny.
me up like 4 months later. And he goes, Manny, I just want to tell you, thank you for telling Darcy all good things about me. I was like, oh, that's really nice, that I go, he goes, that's nice. And I go, oh, no problem. I said, I'm telling the truth. He goes, that's because I'm performing at the Borgata next week.
Wait a minute,
What's
I don't
funny?
get
I don't get
This
it.
is,
I don't get-
this is how Manny's audiences are when he's done that. Like, I don't.
Maybe it was
Well,
a
actually, he
mistake
was
to
just
throw
doing
to
a bit.
Manny.
Manny, I'm willing to meet you in a public place. Where are you right now?
All right.
Ding dong.
All right, we'll edit that part out. All right, listen. Thank you all. It's the end. It's the end of the world.
Let's start with Eric.
End
Where
of
are
our
you going to be
careers
this weekend?
Yes. Where are you? I
In
wish
my
I-
backyard, blowing myself. No,
Blowing. What's her name?
No, what's her name?
What's her name?
His name?
Madge.
No, I'll be,
Marge. Barge. What would you call your friend's name?
I don't know. I have some private show on
Your
Saturday.
mother.
No,
Your mother's friend.
Maddie B.
Yeah, Maddie.
Oh God, I hope.
All
No,
right,
she's,
so where's your private show?
Shh. My private show is on the South Shore in Babylon.
Nice. And
It's private, though,
where
so
are you
it's
going to be?
I actually have a backyard party, 50th birthday party. I do all the high stuff, the highbrow stuff.
And go ahead.
Oh, you got
you
your
go
book.
first.
I don't have anything this weekend, but June 8th,
Yes.
I am with Kevin Brennan and the Kumia Network.
Oh, you're doing that show? Good for
I'm
you.
doing that show
Very nice.
at the Brokerage.
Good
so
for
if
you.
you want to see me do stand-up,
I bought my
Yes.
ticket.
go to the Brokerage.
That'll be a really fun show.
That's going to be a great show. Then you could see how funny Kevin Brennan really is. Maybe
Yes,
you
he
should
is.
buy a ticket and
And
go.
I am
I
glad
will.
to see that a girl is on that show because that's a big boys club, and Carrie Carabas broke through
Well,
the boys club.
yes,
So go get him, girl.
I did.
All right.
It's hard for the girls.
I am going to be okay. If anyone lives in Putnam County, it is not sold out, and I want this thing. Arts on the Lake, Carmel, New York. I'm going to be there with my daughter. My daughter's doing comedy with me and Tommy Gooch. And anyway, Arts on the Lake.
She's very funny. Manny?
Well, I don't have anything lined up in the near future, but July 2nd,
Yes.
I'm going to be back at the Mohegan Sun.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Is it another contest?
No contest. It's
Bring
you
it.
know, because of me, Project 9 Line performs up there.
No,
And
he's
we're going
he's all kidding aside.
I think Manny is really
very
funny.
Manny is
I
funny.
and
saw
he's getting funnier as he gets,
confident. I saw you on that show that either you taped or you taped, and you're there laughing your ass off. I watched it with Kevin. I thought you were hilarious.
He is hilarious.
Hilarious.
And by the way, there's a lot of just throughout the summer, Long Island Comedy Festival. We all do that.
Yes.
I don't know, Patty.
Oh
do you do
yeah,
that?
No.
Paul
We're gonna get
Anthony,
Pat.
Paul
But
Anthony.
yeah, a lot
yes,
of
we
great
do
shows
Long
coming
Island
out.
Comedy
July,
Festival.
August, September.
Oh, I
Long
think I
Island
have something
Comedy
with
Festival.
Paul Anthony coming up.
So go
Other
to that
than that,
website.
you
It's
can
pretty cool.
find me at the Frank's Pizza Place,
Gyrolicious eating for free.
Gyrolicious eating for free, Debbie and Sue's Coffee Shop.
Excellent. We want to thank Adam Hineker at the Rec Room in Woodside. You guys have been a lot of fun.
What are these
to
jars?
have on shows. Oh, and this is the guests. I always give a gift to the guests. Now, these are from Greece. They're cherries, and they're the most delicious thing you can have over vanilla ice cream.
Oh, wow.
And I know you're diabetic, so this is good for
Well,
you.
I want this so I could dunk my Trump's head in it.
This
It's a callback.
They're the most delicious
Thank
thing. I know
you.
they don't
So
look
delicious.
as good, but
No,
they are.
it looks
vanilla
really good.
ice cream. You scoop them on, and they
I
are
would love it.
unbelievable.
I
Manny's-
always ask the comedians that are guests on the show.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
What do you and Rich have to offer the new comedians like myself?
Any advice?
Any advice?
Nice.
Okay, we don't have all day for this.
We don't have
Thank
time
you
for
so much. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
See you later.